Everything you are today is the result of your habits. Full stop. Your brain, the way it acts and reacts, is the result of your habits. And so your habits are the only reason you are where you are now. And it's going to be your habits that are going to take you to where you are destined to go. And if you don't have any goals, and if you don't have any goals that are ecstatic, the habits you have today are just going to automate themselves all the way to the day you die. So that's why data shows this, that not much happens between the age of 25 to 95, because 95% of all your thoughts and thinking is pretty much the same all the way to that age, because we just keep doing our habits and keep following through our habits. This is what's interesting. This is what's interesting and how the brain works. And to keep it simple, we have good habits and then we have bad habits. And the key to getting to your goals is to increase your good habits and to decrease your bad habits. There's no point increasing your good habits if you're going to keep the bad habits, okay? Because you're not going to get anywhere. I see a lot of people, they increase their good habits, but they still keep their bad habits. We have to decrease that. But this is hard, I get it. It is very hard to change a habit because the brain is always looking to release dopamine. It's always looking for excitement. It's always looking for some instant gratification. And so what happens is, usually the bad habit comes with an instant gratification, comes with some instant excitement for long-term decline. So to give you an example, it's so easy for someone to drink alcohol and feel good for a while, but we know alcohol gives you a long-term decline. People that take drugs, they get an instant gratification, but we know drugs is really bad for you. Eating sugars and chocolate and junk food, again, they give you an instant gratification, an instant excitement, but it's a long-term decline because the brain wants excitement now. It's just human nature that the human brain wants excitement. And so because it wants excitement, going and studying, going and learning, well, if I want to go and study and learn, it's always been associated with being boring. So to form a good habit, it's pretty hard because I've got a choice now to go and read that book and write an essay or study an essay, or which is not something that I'm looking forward to, but in the long term it's going to give me a lot of growth. Or alternatively, I can call my friends, let's go for a drink, let's drink alcohol, have a great time. But in the long term, that's going to be a decline. And why is that? Because it's an instant excitement. Having alcohol, associating and just talking gossip and having fun, that's a pleasure now for a long-term decline. Going and studying a topic that might be perceived as boring is instinctively something that we, you know what, let's do it next week because it doesn't give us an instant pleasure. Now it does give us dopamine. This is what I call deferred excitement. So a good habit gives us a deferred excitement. A bad habit gives us an instant excitement. I mean, look at smoking. Now we know that smoking causes cancer. We know this, yet people still smoke. Why? Because they get an instant excitement. The brain needs some kind of instant excitement. Whatever that excitement is, it gets that excitement, and humans know Humans know it's bad for your body, but they still do it because we would rather go for that dopamine hit now and let's think about the consequences later. And that's what happens with our lives. What happens is a lot of these bad habits, junk food, if you think about it. Junk food, what does it do? Gives you instant excitement for long-term health problems. We know junk food is not good for your body. We know junk food has a lot of sugars, there's a lot of oils, there's a lot of bad food in it, and it's not good for your long-term health. But yet, junk food, lots of people eat junk food because it's an instant excitement. If I was to say to you, if I was to now make a decision, and this is what I would say, let's just shoot for me now, right? I have a choice. Today I can study, I can do new learning, and I'll do some work. Now, this is a Saturday, yeah? So I have a choice between study, learning, and work. Or alternatively, I can drink whiskey, I can get some junk food, and I can watch a movie. Now, what we tend to do on the weekends, out of the two, what do most people do? Most people avoid this on the weekend. I'm not going to study on the weekend. Oh, too boring. I don't want to learn something new. Learning something new, it just takes a lot of effort. Why would I do that? Work? Well, why would I work on the weekend? This is my weekend, so I can rest. So the reason people don't do most of this stuff on weekends because it's actually not an instant excitement. It's a deferred excitement. It's a deferred gratification. So for example, I know when I study in the morning on a Saturday, I know long term I feel great about it. I know I'm ahead. I know when I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, so that by 7 o'clock I've done everything I need to do and I'm miles ahead at 7 o'clock. I know in my head that's a deferred excitement. Staying in bed and sleeping in is an instant excitement, but I know it's not good for me. It's not good for my health, it's not good for my productivity, and I have less energy during the day. And so this is the key how the brain works. We instinctively are gonna go for the excitement. We're instinctively gonna go for the excitement, even though we want to do this, even though we have ecstatic desires, even though we have strong goals, even though we are pushing good, we still are going to do this. And the reason why we're going to do this, because our brain needs instant excitement. And this is not giving us instant excitement. I mean, the classic example is going to the gym. Now, going to the gym and pushing weights and pushing your body to sweat isn't going to give you instant excitement. Why do people go to the gym? They would want to be healthy, feel healthy, maybe lose weight, look better in the future, etc., etc., etc. But it doesn't give you instant satisfaction. Why? Because you won't get to see results until 1 or 2 months down the track, for example. And that's why it's easy to go for the cheap and instant excitement. And this is why it's very, very difficult to break the bad habits. I mean, there's no point now, like for me now, I could decide to go for a long run, 5K run, and you know what, I might even do it. I know once I finish that run, I'm going to be feeling fantastic. Unbelievable, okay? Now, I also know that if I come back after that run and eat chocolate and cakes and have ice cream, I'm still keeping the bad habit. I've had a 5K run, feeling fantastic, and then I've come home because I want an instant excitement and I decide to have a big bowl of chocolate ice cream. Not much has happened. What I've done is, yes, I've created a new habit, but I'm still keeping the old habit. The key is to eliminate the bad habits, and it's hard, and to increase the good habits. And so what do we do? So what do we do? And this is how the brain works now. And this is how you can break this, and it's not easy. So what we need to do, we know the brain can't fight this. The brain wants instant excitement. We know this. You can't break the bad habit because it wants instant excitement. Now, when you have strong ecstatic desires, like say a billionaire mindset, they're disciplined because they think about who they want to be every single day. That image does not go away. So they're prepared to trick the brain, even when they're not billionaires, to say, I am a billionaire, this is how I am, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm going. And so they create those good habits and eliminate, because that's giving them instant excitement. So they're manufacturing the life that they want before they've got it. They're thinking, this is my life, I've got it. They make the subconscious brain believe that, say, I'm a billionaire, the feeling that comes with being a billionaire, the work, the decision making, what you have to become, they become it before they've become it in their heads. And then what happens, they build new habits and kill the old habits because it gives them instant excitement. And that's one way to break a habit. Break the bad habit, create a new one. Because the goal here is to give the brain instant excitement. So when you've got to go and study, when you've got to go and do some new learning, we have to create a dopamine, because the brain knows when I'm doing some new learning, in the long run, it's really good for me, but it's not going to do it. That's why we procrastinate. That's why people just lie around. Oh, you know what? It's the old classic. Let me check on social media. 2 hours later, okay, let me go and have that coffee. 3 hours later, let me have that whiskey. Oh, maybe I should start now. And that's how that becomes a habit. And then you never do it because we haven't got a lot of excitement. And what we need to do is build the instant excitement. So when I go and study, when I learn, when I work, the simple thing is we train our brain to think and be and feel the person that we want to be. And always think and write and journal the person that you want to be, as if it's almost training yourself to be an actor of the image of who you are. And it's like the method acting, where you become that person. Because what you're going to notice, the body then is going to start to realize, oh my God, maybe I'm that person. It's going to, once the subconscious brain, this is the thing is, you have to convince. This is why deep learning is really important. You have to convince the subconscious brain that you are already the person that you've always wanted to be. And it's got to be ecstatic, okay? And it's got to be big. Always go for big. Don't go for small. Go for big. You don't have time to go for small. And so that's then the subconscious brain is going to get excited because it knows, hey, these are the tasks I need to do. This is the image. Your brain is getting excited by the image of the person you want to be. Now, we also do the same for the bad habits. Okay, I'm going to drink alcohol. Guess what? I'm going to have liver cancer. Oh, that makes me think, doesn't it? I'm going to smoke. Oh, guess what? I'm going to die in 2 years. Lung cancer. Now that makes me think, doesn't it? So what we're going to do, all of a sudden, we're going to start to manipulate the instant excitement. I'm going to lie on the couch and watch social media for 2 hours. Oh, that's going to give me depression and anxiety and make me very angry and negative. Oh, that's not good, isn't it? That could make me into someone that's living in poverty, because when you're spending too much time on social media, what happens is your brain neurons are dying. Your brain neurons die the more you spend on social media. Because what you're doing is you're feeding into the negativity. The brain is on social media because it's bored. And so you're feeding into that negativity. And what does social media and generally media overall do? They give you all this negativity because they know it's a cheap, instant excitement for long-term decline. And you become addicted to this and it's all the way down. And this is why we have disease, anxiety, depression, suicide rates at record levels. People are unhappy. This is why we have levels of porn and the levels of junk food and alcohol and drugs are skyrocketing because we want the instant excitement. And so what we do then, we replace it with a horror. We replace it with something bad. So our brain then starts to make these decisions, and all of a sudden we're eliminating the bad and we're increasing the good. And as you start to eliminate more of the bad and start to increase more of the good, you watch how your life changes. You watch and experience how your life gets better. But we need a goal. We need a target. We need a goal. We need a target that's big. Because you know what? When you're going big, you're gonna fail. When you're going big, people are going to criticize you. Your friends are going to criticize you. When you're going big, most people are not going to know what you're doing. And guess what? When people come to me and say, Ross, what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing. That's when I know I'm doing the right thing. Remember this, it's all about you as an individual. You have to grow. No one's here coming to do it for you. You have to grow the good habits and decrease the bad, and then watch your life change.